in this episode. Drowning dolls, lumpy superheroes, and giant space pies. All this plus loopy celebrations in...
Time for another adventure of those Crusaders of Cheapness. It's the Budget Superheroes.
Who is it this week?
It's Bean Man.
I don't care what he's been. What is he now?
Hello, Budget Superheroes Incorporated. Uh-huh. Valuable. Uh-huh. Stolen. Uh-huh. Ransom. Uh-huh. We'll send someone right away. We've got a rescue and ransom job, if you want it.
This sounds like a job for Bean Man.
Hey, Bean Man. We all know what happened to Toilet Paper Man last week. So let's do it to them before they do it to us.
Don't worry, I'm here.
Who and what are you?
I am Bean Man.
Bean Man? More like Lump Man.
Yes. Mine is a strange and tragic story. My real parents abandoned me in the vegetable garden, and I was raised by bean plants. It was from them that I received my special powers.
Okay. Now we've got a big problem, and we need to find a solution.
The city needs money. I arranged a huge show at the City Museum to raise some dough. You know, bread, moolah. The prize exhibit was one of the rarest and most valuable plants in the whole world. The famous Blue Rose of Cairo. When the security guard at the museum opened up this morning, the Blue Rose was gone, and we found this.
We got the Blue Rose, and if you don't deliver $1 billion in small unmarked bills to 555 Skid Row by midnight, it's compost.
Oh, and could you pick up a pizza on the way? We're starving. Brussels sprout and liver? Yeah, thanks.
We want you to deliver the money and pizza, overpower the baddies, rescue the Blue Rose, and return it before the show starts tomorrow. Okay, Lumpy?
No problem.
You might want to change your appearance, just so they don't suspect anything.
Fear not. Like all superheroes, I am a master of disguise. Observe.
Wow.
Who is it?
Pizza and ransom money, boy.
Just put the cash down on the floor and keep your hands where we can see them. There's something funny about you. Wait, you're no pizza boy.
No, I'm Bean Man.
Who? Get him anyway. Say your prayers, you green freak.
Any last words, Lumpy?
Yes, you may not know this, but bean plants have very fast-growing tendrils that wrap around things.
So?
So this. Don't worry, guys. They'll rot off in 6 months.
Oh, it's you. Did you get the plant? Excellent work. Wait, it's dead.
It's not dead, but it's in a bad way.
If it dies, the whole show will be ruined, and we'll get no money. And then you'll get no money. Understand, Lumpy?
Don't worry. I think my lumps can save your plant and your city.
What? How?
My keen bean senses tell me this plant is low in nitrogen.
In what?
Nitrogen. Plants need it to grow. If they don't get it, they die.
So where can we get some of this nitrogen stuff?
Well, there's heaps of it in the air, but plants can't use it in that form.
So, your lumps are full of nitrogen?
No, they're full of bacteria. These bacteria can turn useless nitrogen in the air into useful nitrogen in the ground.
Hey, that's pretty impressive.
Well, actually, there's a lot of plants who can do it. You see, we beans belong to the legume family, and we all have lumps on our roots.
Well, don't just stand there. Save it. Lumpy, Bean Man, you've saved our city. How can we reward you?
Well, I have been wanting to visit my relatives in Mexico.
Done.
You're back? But what happened?
That's right. Mine is a strange and tragic story. I was a mild-mannered bean who spent too long in the sun, and I am now known as Baked Bean Man.
A large explosion was detected today in the Pacific Ocean region near No Idea Atoll. It was thought to be related to the latest French popcorn testing program. We cross now live to our reporter in the field, Dan Prong. Dan, can you confirm the source of the explosion?
Yes, Tammy, it was indeed part of the French popcorn testing.
What can you tell us about it?
Well, for some time now, the race has been on to build larger, more powerful popcorn.
But haven't the Americans been testing caramel popcorn in the Nevada microwave testing site for years?
That's right, Tammy. It appears now the French, too, have joined the race. We've managed to capture some footage of their multi-million-dollar testing facility on top of Mount Colonialism, a simmering volcano. And that's where I'm standing now, Tammy.
Now, how does this super popcorn work?
Well, it's just the same as normal popcorn, only thousands of times larger.
So can any corn be popped?
No, only one special type. I have some with me. Basically, Tammy, you need corn that is soft on the inside and has a hard outer shell.
So how does it explode then?
Here's some footage provided by the French technicians. You see, when you heat it, water in the middle tries to expand, but the hard outer coating holds it back. The more you heat it, the more the water pushes, until finally the pressure gets so great the whole thing explodes and turns inside out.
Fascinating, Dan. Now, what do the French intend using the super popcorn for?
Well, they say it's perfectly safe and could end world hunger forever. 1 bit is enough to feed an entire village. But other nations disagree. They say if it's so safe, why are they testing it way out here on No Idea Atoll? What's happening?
Dan? Dan, are you there? We seem to have lost contact with Dan Prong, but never mind, I'm sure he can eat his way out. We now return you to your regular program.
While on a mission of exploration in the deepest reaches of the galaxy, the spacecraft Decrepit and his crew were sucked into a trans-dimensional vortex thingy and spat out in a strange and bizarre alien universe. Join the mostly fearless crew as they battle adventure, danger, and a dilapidated spaceship in Star Quest!
Captain's log, stardate 8 double 3s, lucky 7. We are on Mauve Alert, which is somewhere between red and blue. We had been attending a function on the planet Disco when there was an unfortunate incident. The lieutenant had advised me, in accordance with Discovian custom, to take a pair of flares. Unfortunately, I took the wrong kind of flares, and there was a massive disco inferno. The Discovians seemed to blame me for the fire, which destroyed a large part of their city, and are chasing us in their battle cruiser. And Morph has swapped minds with a seal. It's proving to be very annoying.
The Discovians are gaining on us, sir.
You've made them very angry, Captain. Thousands of Discovians lost their fashionable afro haircuts in the fire.
Are there any planetary systems handy, Cal?
No, not a sausage. Although there is what appears to be a giant intergalactic rubbish dump due west.
Spiffing. Set a course at full speed.
Captain, the Discovians are arming their weapon systems.
You!
Who, me?
Yes, you. You have created more mayhem on our planet than any other person, war, natural disaster, or act of God ever. And look what you've done to our hair. Prepare the Abba Ray.
Yo, Mama. Burn, baby, burn.
I said I was sorry.
They're going to fire, sir.
Shields up!
What's the damage report, Cal?
The shields are down, the main engine has been destroyed, the toilet won't flush, and Morph's got half a can of tuna stuck in his mouth. Cancel that last one.
Captain's log, update. We're in trouble. Big trouble. Luckily, we managed to get into the space dump and have come to rest between a gigantic hairdryer and what appears to be a half-eaten mince pie.
Captain, both the shields are down and the engines will need major repairs. And I wouldn't go near the toilet.
You may have evaded us momentarily, but we will find you and finish the job.
Why can't we just strap on the hairdryer and use it like a rocket?
Captain, that's the best idea you've had since, well, ever.
Unfortunately, there are two major flaws to your plan, Captain. One, it would take 10 times the electrical voltage we use on the ship to power a hairdryer that size. Two, it would also require someone to go outside and hook it up, which is a bit difficult, seeing as the captain wrecked our last spacesuit whilst playing dress-ups.
It wasn't dress-ups. It was make-believe.
I've got it, Captain. We can juice up the ship's electricity supply if we make a transformer.
A what?
A transformer. It's a device used to change the voltage of an electric current.
What about the spacesuit?
We'll cross that vortex when we come to it.
Okay. What do we need for this transformer?
Well, I'll need an iron core and some wire.
Oh.
Help us out with some graphics here, Cal. We're going to put 2 coils on the iron core. The first one will receive current from the ship, and the second will increase the voltage and deliver it to the hairdryer.
Wait on. The coils are different sizes.
That's right, Captain. That's what will change the voltage. Electricity from the ship will pass through the first coil.
Is that the smaller one?
Yes. And the electricity passing through it creates a magnetic field in the iron core. The middle core transfers this field to the second coil.
The big one?
Yes. And the magnetic field causes the electric current to flow in the second coil, which leads it to the hairdryer.
And that will be enough for the dryer?
If I have 3 windings in the input coil and 30 windings in the output coil, then the voltage flowing out will be 10 times stronger than the voltage flowing in. That should be enough.
Funny. I can't seem to find anything about transformers in my Space Scout experiment book.
Well, that's because they use electricity, Captain. After the incident with the toaster, I would have thought you'd remember how dangerous it can be.
I was trying to fix it. No one told me to unplug it.
I think I'd better build the transformer, just to be on the safe side. It's ready, Captain. All we've got to do now is hook it up.
Captain, the Discovians have found us.
There's nowhere to run, baby.
Prepare to be aberrized.
Stop it, Morph. I'm trying to think.
Wait! Of course! Seals can hold their breath for long periods of time when they dive. Morph can set the transformer in place. Go, Morph, go!
Captain, the Mint seems to have blocked up the Discovians' navigation systems. We're home free.
Excellent.
Oh, look, Captain. The guy in the red shirt managed to survive a whole episode by hiding in the cupboard.
Careful.
Don't touch the toaster.
Hello. This is my doll Mindy that my daddy bought for me, and she's really pretty, but she's not as pretty as me because my daddy says so. And my daddy is a Navy SEAL, but he's not a SEAL. He dives down under the water and he does stuff. The last time my daddy went diving, he got really sick afterwards. He got decompression sickness. And for people like you, who don't know big words like me, you can call it the bends. And the reason they call it the bends is because it makes your joints all achy and sore, but you can make them feel better if you bend them like this. Anyway, I said to Daddy, Daddy, what makes people get the bends? And he said, nitrogen. And I said, Daddy, that's naughty, bad, icky swear, and you're not allowed to use it. And he said he meant nitrogen in the blood. So I said, all right, because most of the air that we breathe is nitrogen. And when we breathe it, it goes in your head and down into your lungs, and some of it goes into your blood. Oops. Sorry, Mindy. Sorry. And when you dive down deep, there's lots of pressure because there's lots of water on top of you, and water's really, really heavy, and that's what makes the pressure. The pressure makes lots more nitrogen go into your blood than normal, and it squashes all the bubbles together and makes them smaller. But that's all right. That doesn't make you sick. Yet. The trouble starts when you swim up to the surface, because when you go up, the pressure goes down because there's not so much water on top of you. And then those naughty little nitrogen bubbles get bigger and bigger. And not only are they getting bigger, but there's too many of them in there anyway. You can get rid of the extra ones out of your lungs if you come back up to the surface slowly, so that when you get there, they're all gone and nothing's wrong. But if you come up too fast, then there's still too much nitrogen in your blood, and that's when you get sick. And Daddy says that it blocks your blood and damages your internal organs. And I've got an internal organ in me somewhere, but I can't find it. And when my daddy was sick with the bends, the only thing that would make him better was a recompression chamber, and it squashed him back to the same pressure he was when he was diving, and then they let it off really slowly so all the extra nitrogen could get out of his body, and he was all better, just like Mindy. I'm all wet.
Imagine a lake 99 kilometers long, 99 kilometers wide, and 9 meters deep. If someone told you they could tell there was a teaspoon of sugar in there, would you believe them? Probably not. But this is the story of the woman who figured out how it could be done. Rosalind Sussman Yellow was a physicist who worked with her doctor friend Solomon Berson. They were looking at people who were sick because they didn't have the right amount of special chemicals called hormones. Glands in your body make hormones. These hormones travel in your blood and take messages to different parts of your body, telling it to grow, be alert, digest food. So hormones are really useful. But they come in such tiny amounts that you had to take lots of blood from a patient to find any. That made it difficult for Rosalind. She was trying to figure out how long hormones stayed in a person's blood after they'd been released from a gland. But she was onto a good idea. Radioactive things are easy to find, so she took some hormone and made it radioactive, then injected it into a patient. She took regular blood samples from the patient over several hours and tested them all for radiation. The more radiation, the more hormone. The less radiation, the less hormone. She expected that the amount of radiation in the blood sample would gradually decline as the hormone stopped doing its job. But it didn't. The hormone was still in the body, but something was stopping it from working. What was happening? Maybe the body had a way of making the hormones inactive. Rosalind and Solomon knew that when your body reacts to things like germs, it produces chemicals called antibodies that recognize the germs and lock onto them. Then the germs are stuck and can't do you any harm. If antibodies were locking onto the hormones as well, that would lock them up and keep them in the patient's body. Then Rosalind had another great idea. If antibodies could grab hold of the hormones, maybe she could put them to work for her. She took a sample of blood from a patient. This time it was just a very small sample. It already had a little bit of natural hormone in it. Then in a test tube, she added a measure of radioactive hormone and some antibody. In the sample, the antibodies would join up with any hormones they could find. So if there was a lot of natural hormone from the patient, it would join with more antibody than the radioactive kind. If there were equal amounts of natural hormone and radioactive hormone, then the antibody would combine with both in equal amounts. And if there was more radioactive hormone than natural hormone, more of it would combine with the antibody. By counting up the antibodies that were now radioactive, they could figure out how much hormone the body was making. Rosalind and Solomon had found a way to measure very small amounts of hormone, and they were very happy. But the happiest person of all was the patient, who would not have to give nearly as much blood for samples, and, since it could all be done in a test tube, they wouldn't have to be injected with radioactive hormone. But when Rosalind and Solomon told other scientists of their very sensitive measuring method, they were laughed at. Antibodies, they said, could recognize germs because germs were big. Hormones and other chemicals were too small. Rosalind must be mistaken. It was an insult. But Rosalind knew she was right, and proving them all wrong would be her revenge. If she and Solomon had to work all day and all night for 20 years, they would do it. And they did, perfecting their hormone measuring method, which they called radioimmunoassay. And over the years, everyone came to use it, even the scientists who laughed at Rosalind. Nowadays, it's used to detect all kinds of chemical problems. Babies can be tested to see if they have enough growth hormone. Crazy people can be helped to have the right amount of brain chemicals. And athletes who cheat by taking drugs can be caught. Eventually, Rosalind Sussman Yalow was awarded the Nobel Prize for her test. A test sensitive enough to find a teaspoonful of sugar in a lake. And although that's not enough for anyone to taste, Rosalind got the chance to taste something very sweet indeed. Revenge.
Rosalind Sussman Yalow, she was really peeved. She come up with a great idea, and she was not believed. She and Dr. Sully invented up a test when it came to sensitivity, and they knew what was best. So they worked all day and they worked all night. Sometimes the
think it's amazing? Radioimmunoassay is so sensitive it could detect a teaspoon of sugar in a lake.
Ha! That's nothing. I can detect that you had chili sauce on your cereal 2 weeks ago.
That's amazing. How can you do that without analyzing my blood?
The stains are still down your front.
Oh, yeah. Well, some animals can be almost as sensitive as human machines. Did you know the male moth can smell a female from 8 kilometers away?
Big deal. On a good day, I can smell your socks from about that far.
I'm going for a walk.
Okay, smell you later. I've got to say that this program was made by JPL for TV3.
Yeah, and I've got to say that this program was made with the help of your broadcasting fee, so you can see more of New Zealand on air.